With this sweep feature, we start out with this path that's just an arc on a plane. And then we have a 3D sketch, which has a couple of arcs and a spline so that it bridges over the original path arc. And then we have a profile, which is a rectangle, but this is a rectangle created in a special way. If we go in here and look at it, it doesn't have the horizontal and vertical relationships that you're used to creating. If you create those, you're going to run into difficulty trying to orient the sketch later on. So what I've done is I've used the 3-point rectangle and just set it up at an arbitrary angle, and then use relations to pin it down into a particular orientation, such that the 3D sketch is really driving the orientation of the rectangle. Okay, so that's how that was set up. So now if we create a sweep feature, we'll select the profile, select the path, and as you'd probably expect, it just sweeps along that arc. But it doesn't have any relationship at this point to the guide curve. So as soon as we select the guide curve, then the relationship that we've created kicks into existence. So we can see here that we're getting a little bit of kink. But on the positive side, I mean, we are getting the cross section to come over and to flip over to the other side of the arc. We can control this little kink a little bit if we go down to the options, and under profile twist it says none, but let's just change it to follow path and first guide curve, and that smooths it out. This might be still a little bit tough to visualize, but let's use a tool that Solidworks gives us. This little eyeball down here is show sections. So if you click on that, right now it's showing you the first section, which is this yellow highlight down here. And as we click through the arrow for the spin box, we get various sections. Now this gives you several things at the same time. It shows you, gives you a little insight into how SolidWorks creates sweeps. A sweep is really just an automated set of lofts. So SolidWorks is actually lofting together all of these sections that it creates automatically. So the sweep is kind of a macro that's set up to create sections that are lofted together. And the second thing that it's giving us is a visualization of how everything that we've set up is going to go through that transition, flipping over the arc. So I can go back through here and just kind of watch this. And that's pretty cool. So if we go back here into this 3D sketch and remove a couple of relations that I created just to lock it down. I used the fix constraint here a couple of times. I want to enlarge this a little so that we demonstrate a little more how much control you have over the size and the orientation of the sweep profile. Okay, now you see it over here, it's become much larger. So what we're doing is really driving the corner of the rectangle. If we had driven the opposite corner from the corner that's driven by the path, we could have controlled both the thickness and the width, but instead we're just controlling one dimension up here at this corner. We'll address how we deal with kind of this nasty twisting that's going on a little bit later.